Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Dewi Puspitasari. So in this video, I would like to present my analysis on technology integration in English language teaching. So the title is Technology Integration in English language teaching: Opportunities, Challenges, and Implication for Secondary Education. And the topic I choose is technology integration in ELT or English language teaching. I picked this topic because the use of technology in language learning has grown significantly over the past few years. So as a future English teacher, I think it's really important for us to understand not just how technology can help, but also what challenges come with using it in a real classroom. For this analysis, I used 3 academic journals along with 1 book chapter as a conceptual foundation. So the first journal is Wiranata and Kalenjis 2024 study, which is a systematic literature review analyzing technology integration research from 2018 to 2024. And the second is Aliaj 2026 study, which look specifically at EFL teacher in Albania through both survey and interview. And the third is Returning Room 2023 study, which explored the experience of a university lecture in Indonesian. I also referred to a book chapter by Syarifuddin and Aryawan from 2021, which helped me understand the theoretical side of technology integration before diving into the empirical studies. Let me walk through them one by one about key idea. Wiranata and Kalenjis found that technology integration has great potential to create dynamic and engaging learning experience. However, they were also clear that this potential doesn't happen automatically. It can only be realized through careful planning, proper training for teachers, and making sure that technology actually aligns with clear educational goals. In other words, just having access to technology isn't enough on its own. Earlier studies show something I found particularly interesting. Instead of treating technology as something that directly causes better learning outcomes, Elliot frames it as what called a pedagogical enabler. That means technology works more as a support system. It helps increase students' engagement, support language development, and encourage learning autonomy, but it doesn't automatically generate improvement just by being present in the classroom. Meanwhile, the Turning Room takes a slightly different stance. She argued that digital transformation in education is, in her word, basically unavoidable at this point. Her research with Indonesian university lecturer found real, tangible benefit, things like improved test score and more opportunities for independent learning. But at the same time, her participant also faced real challenges like cost of the technology, limited access, and heavy work that make it hard to consistently integrate technology into their teaching. So now I move to similarities and differences. Where the source differ in mostly in their research approach. Wiranata et al. Use a systematic data review, meaning they analyze 20 extent to studies rather than collecting new data themselves. Aliaj and Returning Room, on the other hand, both conduct direct field research. Aliaj through a combination of survey and interview with Albania teacher, and Returning Room through face-to-face interview with Indonesian lecturer. Another difference is theoretical grounding. Aliaj explicitly connect her findings to established theoreticals like CAL or computer assisted language learning and social culture theory. Wiranata and Returning Room, in contrast, take a more descriptive approach and don't anchor their finding to a specific theoretical framework. Now, let's talk about what I consider the strongest evidence across these sources. In the Turning Room study, one lecturer directly stated, and I quote, "Training is needed so that we can use new technology while teaching our students. This also helps us keep our knowledge and skill up to date and boost our confidence." This isn't just an isolated opinion, it lines up closely with what Wiranata et al. Found in their broader literature review, which showed that teacher use of ICT is still mostly limited to basic level, specifically what calls substitution and augmentation. rather than more advanced transformation use of technology. And interestingly, this same pattern show up again in Alia's study, even though it's set in a completely different country. One teacher in Albania said, "We are expect to use technology, but we are not always trained on how to use it effectively." So here we have three separate studies in three different contexts: a literature review, a study in Albania, and a study in Indonesia, all pointing to the exact same issues. That kind of consistency across different methods and location make this, I think, the strongest pieces of evidence in my entire analysis. Based on what I have found, I believe teacher training programs shouldn't just focus on the technical side of operating a technology, like knowing which buttons to click or how to set up an app. They also need to build teacher ability to actually choose the right tools based on their curriculum and their students' specific needs. And just as importantly, training needs to address when and how to use a particular technology, not just how to use it in general. This matters a lot because the learning condition in junior and high school students aren't always the same as what you have find in higher education. A strategy what works well for university students with reliable internet and access might not work the same way in public secondary school with more limited resources. So next we talk about research gap. Most of the research either focus on higher education, like returning group study with university lecture, or discuss EFL teacher in general terms without specifying which education level they are talking about. This actually opens up a really valuable opportunity for future research. I think it will be worth exploring more closely how technology integration actually work in Indonesian secondary school English classroom specifically. And we could even take it a step further by looking at particular language skill, for example, speaking or listening, since these skill haven't really been explored in depth when it comes to technology use at the secondary school level. So for the conclusion, what really determines whether technology integration success in English language teaching isn't just having the technology available in the classroom, it's whether teachers are actually ready to understand when and how to use it appropriately for their specific students and context. Good training and direct strategies are really what make the difference between technology that create guiding, meaningful change and technology that just becomes an extra tool sitting unused in the corner. Moving forward, I believe teacher research and professional development should pay a lot more attention to secondary education specifically, so that the benefit we usually talk about at the university level can also be felt where they are needed most, in junior, high, and high school classroom across Indonesia. So I think that's all from my presentation for today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.